Where people think, oh, these kids are so burned out, they're just lazy. It's like, no, they're working 40 hours a week, but at the end of the month, they have nothing to show for it. So if you're not making any progress and you look back 5 years and go, damn, I made $300,000 in the last 5 years, or I made $400,000 in the last 5 years, and I have nothing. If anything, I have $25,000 in debt. That's going to create burnout because you feel like you just put in 5 years of work and have nothing to show for it. And we still have people blaming them that, well, the reason you're broke is because of the coffee. It's like, no, it's the 25% inflation that we've faced that just destroyed people's spending power. It's the 30% increase in rent prices where people are spending 40% of their money on rent. You're still being taxed 20, 25, 30%. People just don't have any money. People aren't having kids. They're not being able to start families. People are struggling financially, fighting financially. Relationships are suffering. This is all decline in living standards. You realize millennials with degrees are living with roommates into their 30s, not having kids? How do you have a Thanksgiving in a 900 square foot apartment? How do you have a dog and go play in the backyard and make memories with your kids? I was living in an apartment complex just 2.5 years ago. Tons of kids. They may do, but they're all playing on the cement floors in the hallway because they don't have a yard. Because houses are $400,000. Humans are good at adapting, but there's a fine line between adapting and being taken advantage of, and I think we're being taken advantage of.
I don't mean to speak for all of Gen X, but I personally don't think Gen Z is burned out. I think they're just lazy. And I want to be clear. This is not all of Gen Z. This is a large portion of Gen Z because there are some Gen Z who actually do work for a living and work very hard. So I'm not trying to beat them up. But for all of these Gen Zers out there who are complaining and moaning and griping that the Gen X have it so much better than they did and it was so much easier, I'm not sure where you got that from. Because have you went through our life? Have you looked at our life other than where we're at right now? I mean, most of the business people that I talk to can't get a Gen Z to actually work a 40-hour work week. And your complaint is that they actually have to work 40 hours and they're burned out from it? I can't remember the last time I only worked 40 hours. And as far as making $400,000 in 5 years and have nothing to show for it, working 40 hours a week, I tell you what, that's a you problem, dude. That's not a me problem. And how do you make $400,000 in 5 years and still have $25,000 in debt? That's just stupid. And as far as you being broke because of coffee's more of just an example, but it's all the stupid things that you guys buy these days. It's all the streaming services. It's all the Ubers. It's all the DoorDashes. And it is $10 here and $20 here and $40 here and $50 here. It all adds up. Those are things we couldn't afford to do and probably still don't do because we just won't spend the money on it. As far as the 25% inflation that you're talking about, newsflash, that actually has affected all of us, not just you. And the 30% in rent, well, again, there's a simple answer for that. Don't rent. I know you have this huge propensity to say that you can't afford a $400,000 house. You do understand that a $400,000 house is actually over 2,500 square feet. And you're trying to compare that to a 900 square foot apartment. Maybe, just maybe, what you need to do is actually focus on buying something that you can afford, which doesn't have to be a $400,000, 2,500 square foot home. Maybe you just buy a 1,200 square foot home for 200 grand. And there's tons of them out there. They may not be as lavish or as huge or fantastic as you might want them to be, but I tell you what, they've got a yard and they're going to be a lot less expensive than paying $1,800 or $1,900 a month in rent for a 900 square foot apartment. But instead of complaining about all this, maybe what you should be doing is focusing on actually getting married and actually working together to build a long-term life together. And that way you're not trying to make it on one salary. But hey, what do I know? Dickie out.